Jinja is a beautiful city, home to the fountain spring of the second longest river in the world, the Great Nile, as well as spectacular Rujagali Falls. Jinja also sits on the shores of the world's largest freshwater lake, the Victoria. Once the leading industrial city of Uganda, Jinja town has a population of more than 200,000 residents. Among these is Soweto, one of the many communities on the outskirts of Jinja town. Most people in Soweto are victims of the war in northern Uganda that has brought unimaginable consequences not only to the people of this area, but the whole country and beyond. Countless numbers have suffered in different ways because of this senseless war between government forces and rebel leader Joseph Koi's Lord's Resistance Army. In this area alone, more than 1 million people live in internally displaced camps. But the heaviest brunt of this catastrophe has perhaps been borne by women and children. So many children of war, so many women laboring under the load of wretched motherhood, and many other female social challenges. There has been no haven for them. The magnitude of this war and its effects will live on for a very long time. These children have not known anything called home. They have never known parental love. These women wear smiles of those only too familiar with pain and suffering. They have lost virtually everything they had, but above all, they have lost loved ones. This is where Jinja town, many miles south of this place, comes into the picture. Most of the families that escape the war end up in Soweto, which has become a safe haven for the displaced. However, the living conditions here are so pathetic. The sanitation is horrible. This, for example, is a communal bathroom. Somehow, life continues. Most of the community members here have no source of income. So the Catholic Diocese of Jinja and its other structures like the Social Services Department have sought to intervene. A number of women groups have been identified to try and lend a hand. This has helped trigger a healing process for these women. It is an effort not only to try and help forget the trauma of war, but most importantly to help them have a purpose in their different lives. It was therefore important that a revolving fund be initiated to start this healing process. The fund targeted women because they were the most affected. The idea of this noble gesture was born in 1999.
This was due to seeing the most marginalized women, widows, war victims, single mothers who had come from Sudan, internally displaced places of northern Uganda, and had come and settled in Chimasa with no food, no housing, no nothing.
This is Anyochi Sabina. She is a widow. Jinja after she witnessed her husband and both her parents being mercilessly butchered by the rebels. She fights back her tears after she is struck by the memory of seeing her husband die of bullet wounds. The trauma has never left her. Sabina's ancestral home is Kitgum in northern Uganda, where the war has been going on for over 20 years now. All their possessions were looted. She now has the responsibility of taking care of 6 orphans, some of whom are her own grandchildren. Even in her pain, Sabina wears a calm expression as she goes about this daily routine. Sabina is a local gin brewer. This is her enterprise. Her customers are mostly members of the surrounding community. Sabina started this enterprise after getting a small loan from the Young Women's Loan Scheme, which is under the Social Services Department of the Catholic Diocese of Jinja. The loan was a godsend. She can now afford to take these children to school, but she can also cater for the household needs of the children. The gin she brews is potent stuff, locally known as waraji. It is also sometimes referred to as kill me quick. Sabina's concentration on her work is a reflection of how much she has come to value it. She moves from stage to stage of this brewing process. Occasionally, she will test the brew to ensure everything is fine. She says her conscience is not so clear about brewing this hard liquor, but she has little choice. Her dream is to get more money and change the business. She will wait for the opportunity to come. In another village called Chimasa, a stone's throw from Jinja town center, lives a woman, Margaret. She is also a victim of war. She sought sanctuary in this place when the going got tough back home. Margaret is involved in 3 projects. She, together with other women, owns this banana plantation. Another project is this sugarcane plantation. Yet another farming project is the beans garden. Margaret commits most of her time working in these projects. Although these are group projects, Margaret has a personal attachment to them. Every minute she works here is important to her, not because of the financial benefits that now naturally accrue from her sweat, but because this preoccupation marks a new beginning for Margaret. The projects help heal the wounds of war back home in Gulu district. She lost virtually everybody who mattered to her in the war. War is indeed a bad thing. Now the work here offers something important.